Good morning and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh. It is Sunday, August 2nd of 2026, and I am so delighted to see all of you who have arrived, I assume, in boats and life preservers with your paddles, but you have endured to come and meet in person. I am Reverend Dr. Kate Walker. I use the she, her pronouns, and I'm honored to serve as the beloved minister of this beloved community. For those with visual disability, I'm a middle-aged, light-skinned female. My hair is mid-length, light brown. I wear glasses, and I have a red dress on with a stole depicting the solar systems. And I have a reason for that, which I'll share in a moment. Beloved, you are all welcome here. If you are here now, or if you are watching online, or in the future, you are welcome here. We are delighted if you've chosen to be with us this morning. We are Unitarian Universalists. We are people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders, practicing and committed to radical hospitality. We're a multi-faith religious community. All are welcome. Diversity is celebrated, and questions, particularly today, are expected. We're growing, we're learning, and we're all loved. Just as you are welcome here. And if this is your very first time with us, you are particularly welcome and affirmed for your courage in coming to a new church. We would love to be in touch with you. If you're online, please check us out on our website. You can sign up for our newsletter, which is at the bottom of the main page with the MailChimp opt-in, or send us an email, introduce yourself. We'd love to get to know you and explore with you what you are looking for in a religious community. And if you're here in person, please introduce yourself to our welcome desk person, which is through those doors in the garden lobby. And again, introduce yourself because we'd love to get to know who you are. Today is an annual service that I do when I come back from vacation. My first Sunday is called the Question Box. It is, and I'm not the only Unitarian Universalist minister that does this, but I have a particular style in that I don't see the questions ahead of time. And so you were invited to submit a question today, and the ushers have paper and writing utensils for you to come up with a question for me. And like a press conference, I just take them in writing and answer them. I will have a caveat that this is not Stump the Chump. I don't know anything about physics, for example. I don't think I could tell you how to change the tire on your car. So just please put it within certain limits. And some of the questions are so deep and provocative that I actually then put them aside and they turn into a sermon topic. And some of them are just outright fun. Whatever, don't feel like you have to show your intelligence. I know you're intelligent. So truly give me something that you want to know. And but this is also an opportunity for me to know where your brains are at. Where are your hearts? Where's your thinking and your fear, your love? Where is it going? It gives me a chance to know what you're thinking about and what you're feeling. And this is a basis for curiosity, and that is why I do this, because questions are the fundamental path of any religious journey. For future events, I want to make sure you have on your schedule our annual in-gathering service on September 13th, where it is a multi-generational service. It's the Sunday after Labor Day weekend, and we have our annual ritual of in-gathering, and that includes we invite you to bring a small sample of water. And water from your home, maybe from your travels, maybe from your garden, maybe from one of our beautiful rivers. And we invite you, and people will come forward and we'll collect that water in a beautiful binding ceremony and a cleansing. And then that water is then used to bless our gardens, for child dedications, and for memorial services and weddings. And it's a beautiful ritual. And then I share the story of how that came about. And so please, September 13th, and it is followed afterward by a picnic that's hosted, it's a potluck picnic hosted by the Board of Trustees. So I invite you to settle in, arrive, embodying spirit, maybe take a deep breath. I invite you to picture yourself connected to one another in this time and place, in this sacred place that we have come together to call our own, a time set aside as sacred. I invite you to see yourself connected to others across the city of Pittsburgh, of multi-faiths throughout this weekend, and Pittsburgh and beyond, into our country and this world. Millions coming together in sacred time. We turn to our chalice lighting. The symbol of our faith as Unitarian Universalists, Unitarian and Universalist with the two circles and a flame in the middle, a flame guiding us. And today I invite you to focus on that flame, recognizing the power of curiosity, of asking questions. It has the power to shift dynamics in a relationship, its invitation to listen, to observe, to pause, to redirect and connect where divisions and barriers have existed for too long. I wear this stole today of the universe because it is calling us to explore, to look beyond our own profane moments into that which is beyond us with deep curiosity, to rise above the moments of the day and expand our sense of self and the sense of the universe that calls us forward, and all that is holy and all that is blessed. Welcome to you all. I invite you to stand as you're able in body or spirit. 354, we laugh, we cry. The hymnals are in front of you and the words are on the screen.
And we have
want to add a couple of things about Question Box Sunday. The ushers will be collecting your questions during the offering, so that's your deadline, in case you need that. And I just want to add, in case you don't know, the word heretic means one who questions. Proud heretic. I invite you to join me.
And I would invite you to join me in our collective grounding. The words are on the screen and they're also in your order of service. We name our collective recommitment to care for the earth, knowing that the ground we live upon is sacred. We pledge to bring new life to the earth, new life to the air, new life to the waters, new life to each other, for all life is sacred.
Morning. Ooh, there it is. You're awake now, aren't you? It is wonderful to see all of you. I have been on break for a few weeks, so thank you for allowing me to have that time. I'm Erica Shadowsong, for those of you who don't know me. I'm the Lifespan Religious Education Director here. I have brown skin. I'm wearing a purplish headband, a green shirt, and black pants. And I have a wonderful story for you today in celebration of Question Sunday. This story comes to us from Hindu wisdom, from the Upanishads. And the story begins with Vajrashravas. I'll try to say these names correctly. Vajrashravas, who is actually a famous sage. And as a famous sage, he performed certain rituals that were expected of him. And one of them was a ritual of generosity, where he was expected to give away everything that he had. Now, he had a son who was very intelligent and thoughtful, just like him. His son's name was Nachiketa. And Nachiketa watched his father giving things away, but he noticed something. His father was not giving away his best possessions. He was giving away his cattle, for example, but the cows that he gave away were older and weak and couldn't give milk anymore. And he was persistently doing this, and his son watched him and he said, well, maybe he's saving the best for something else. And he thought, well, I'm precious to my father. Maybe he's going to give me away. So he asked his father, Father, to whom are you going to give me? And Vajrashravas just shrugged him off and ignored him. And Nachiketa would not be dissuaded. He asked the question again, Father, who are you going to give me to? And his father ignored him again. And finally, he asked a third time, Father, to whom will you give me? And his father was exasperated. He said, I give you to death. Now, these words were obviously said in frustration, but his son took them very seriously because they were spoken during a sacred ritual. And he thought, well, I should act as if these words are true. So what he did was he went to visit the god of death, Yama. He traveled to the underworld to visit the god of death, and when he arrived at his home, there was no answer. So he sat outside for 3 days with no water, no food, nothing. And when Yama, the great god of death, came back and saw this young child, this wise child sitting out there, he said, oh, I'm so sorry you've been sitting here for 3 days without food or water or any hospitality. I want to give you 3 wishes for the 3 days that you've been waiting. And Nachiketa was ready for this. His first wish was, will you make it so that my father isn't angry when I come back? Just help him to have a little more patience. And Yama said, done. What's your second wish? And the boy said, I want to learn the sacred rite of fire. Will you teach me? And he did. And this was a very important rite. He learned it so well that the rite actually became named after him. "What's your third wish?" Yama said. He said, "I want to know if there's life after death. What happens when we die?" Now, you'd think that this would not be a difficult question to ask the god of death, but his response was interesting. He said, "Look, even the gods get confused about this. Even they struggle to answer this question. Don't ask me about that. You're young. Ask me for something else." And he tried to tempt him. "Ask me for wealth. Ask me for riches. Ask me for entertainment. Ask me for elephants, for horses, for great beauty, for anything. Just ask me anything else." But Nachiketa said, "Well, I don't want those other things. Those other things don't last. And so I want something that lasts. And anyway, that wasn't my question." And Yama did actually answer him. And he goes on in this story to teach him a lesson about how the soul is eternal, the true soul, when we seek things that are eternal, like wisdom. And Nachiketa's question, that story, this was the first time I came across that story, and I thought it was perfect for today. It reminds me of a story from Jewish literature where Solomon, as a child, was it Solomon who asked for wisdom? I think that's right, when he was a child. Anyway, the point is seeking wisdom above everything else. Asking questions even when the answer is a challenging one. And so that is our story for today. And now we will sing Go Lift It Up while our children go to our activities.
Every month, we share our generosity with a designated organization. And this month, it's UU Justice PA. So all donations are shared 50-50 with this organization unless somehow otherwise designated. And this morning, we're especially delighted to welcome Kelly Anderson. This morning, she's a member of Sunny Hill, the South Hills UU Church, and she's led organizational reinvention initiatives across a variety of sectors. She has a wonderful background, and she is here this morning to tell us more about UU Justice PA.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me. So, UU Justice PA. Let me take a step back and kind of recount for you. You have city councilors that you have working for you. You have county, you have state, you have national representatives, all who work for you. And the challenge these days is how do you manage all those people and get them to do what you want them to do, right? It's a big challenge. So UU Justice PA can be part of your strategy for managing all of those folks. So for 15 years, this small but powerful state advocacy network has united people of conscience to speak truth to power in Harrisburg and ensure love ripples across the Commonwealth. Our 7 justice teams track critical statewide legislative bills to keep our 36 congregations informed. We send out action alerts and advocacy day opportunities, as well as provide organizing strategies to assist UUs to connect with their representatives. So our 7 action teams or justice teams work on good government, on LGBTQIA plus justice, reproductive justice, economic justice, gun violence prevention, environmental justice, and criminal justice. So we know that there's a lot going on, but we have the teams to cover a lot as well. I encourage you not only to give generously to this church here and to UU Justice PA, but also take a look at uujusticepa.net and see how you might want to become involved with one of our justice teams. Every step toward justice requires dedicated action. First Unitarian has consistently stepped up and has been committed supporters to UU Justice PA, which we greatly appreciate. We are looking forward to your continued generosity to ensure a persistent progressive faith voice that remains strong in PA policy. One more note from the Sufi poet Rumi: when all seems dark around you, look again. You may be the light. Thank you.
This religious community is made up of volunteers and staff who create and host a wide variety of programming, and all of that relies on our financial support. In addition to the collection plate, there are numerous other ways to give. You can donate by texting the word GIVE to 412-435-1050 and following the directions there. And there are also some instructions in the order of service and on the screen. So at this time, the collection and your questions will be gratefully received.
Has found a resting place, not in device nor creed. I trust the everlasting one, the flower, the fruit, the seed. I need no other argument. I need no it is enough that love will be the road, the door, the key. It is enough that I will walk a pilgrim in love's fold, and that the tender arms of grace will lead my willing soul. I need no other argument. I need no other plea. It is enough that love will be the door, the key. souls imprisoned will be free, and in the hope that hate and fear will drown in love's great sea. I need no other argument. I need no other plea. It is enough that love will be the road, the door, the key.
Actually, gratitude for both of you, for Ellen as our writer, composer, and performer. Beautiful, beautiful. I know there are many sorrows and broken hearts in this room, and people who are watching as well. And I know there are celebrations and joy as well. And one of the great brilliant capacities of the human heart is we can hold that all. And the more we can hold it, we let our heart break and let it mend, let the joy happen, and let the tears flow, the greater our capacity to be a human being. This is the divine path, our journey. So I invite you to settle into a few moments of personal prayer and silence or meditation, and find that place in your heart that needs mending, the places of disappointment where hope is struggling, but also look for those places of deep love and beauty and joy and awe. Spirit of compassion, help heal the broken places in our hearts. Help us find and rekindle hope when we feel the darkness is too much to bear. Spirit of love, remind us of your guiding light, that which we call God in all the names throughout the ages and places when we have called out for that which is greater than ourselves. Spirit of beauty, remind us of the value and divinity of life itself. Spirit of justice, rekindle our commitment to equity, to rebalancing this world so that all may live into the fullness of their being. Spirit of peace, ease your way into the hearts of those who find themselves so broken they can no longer find love. Let us all be reminded that of compassion and love, of joy and beauty and peace, this is the value of life itself. We gather together to feel that in our bones, to feel that in our pulsing heart and the strength of our muscles. May we go forward throughout time knowing that we matter to one another. Blessed be, amen, ashe. I invite you to stay seated as with your hearts singing, we give thanks. It is so important to be grounded in acts of gratitude. Let this be your act of gratitude this morning. This is so fun. Okay, I did get 3 via email as well. I took a quick look at those, but I'm going to start with what was submitted, and I'll go back to pick up the emails as well. Okay. For Kate. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to tell you about why one of my dragons is here, because I know you're asking, right? Yeah, okay. Why is one of my dragons here? So when I came into my office this morning, they all said, welcome back. And for those who don't know me, dragons and I have this little thing. Dragons, yeah, anyway, so I love dragons. And I realized that while I was gone, I needed the strength, the wisdom, the guidance of my dragon pack. So they said we need to be visual, public reminder that we all have strength and wisdom. And sometimes we need to be visually reminded of that. So they're going to be around for a few months out in the, they're usually hidden, but no, they're going to be out for a while. Okay. Our sense of selves, the particular, becomes part of the body of Christ. How do we envision our community in Unitarianism? Ooh. We just dig right in. I'm going to repeat that. Our sense of selves, the particular, becomes part of the body of Christ. How do we envision our community in Unitarianism? I want to say that I think this question is very personal for each person and how we find ourselves connected to that which we view as the Christ figure. And I notice that this is Christ, not Jesus, so this is a theological construct. And for those, a moment of history that the Christ figure took decades, centuries to truly emerge in religious history and really began in the 4th century. But, so I can only answer really like all of these questions for myself. For me, it is about the connection with how the Christ figure in the abstract, the spirit of love, the spirit of the breath of God, ruach, the spirit of justice, the spirit of risk-taking, because the person of Jesus took risks in his life. And the idea and the theological, as I understand the theology, that the story, the narrative, the myth of Jesus emerged and evolved into that which he embodied in his life. And that's how, for me, as a Unitarian, which means one God as opposed to the Trinitarian, for those who are new, which is the Trinity, it is really not about being equal to God or the same substance as God, where the debate happened in the 4th century. For me, it is really about that powerful image, the draw of being our best self with one another, our highest aspirations of who we want to be. So there you go. 1. Oh, good stuff. Okay. Shouldn't we Unitarian Universalists be conscientious objectors and vegetarians to avoid killing our fellow creatures, since all are held sacred in our Unitarian Universalist principles? And I'm going to add values. I am a vegetarian. Well, okay, I'm mostly pescatarian because I need protein. And conscientious objector, I think that's an awesome and amazing aspiration, but I can tell you right now, if we tried to impose that on Unitarian Universalists, boy, that would be an interesting battle. Pun intended. But yeah, go for it. If you want to be a conscientious objector and a vegetarian, so we don't kill our fellow creatures. But here's the problem. Ask any scientists, we're constantly destroying life. It is a part of living. We are constantly destroying bacteria. We can't live without bacteria. We're constantly destroying viruses. We can't live without them. Ask any scientist. And there is, and I'm going to go with the Hindu teaching in this one, destruction and life is a constant cycle. So let us do so with awareness, with intent, with gratitude. So there you go. 2. Okay. Humanism was a vibrant movement within the Unitarian Church from about 1900 to 1990, at least. Now it seems much reduced. Are there any national leaders in Unitarian Universalism who identify as humanists? Ooh, and I'm actually going to combine that with one that came in via email. There is a close relationship between the values of Unitarianism and humanism. How important is humanism to the First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh, and how is humanism demonstrated both within the congregation and the community? So I'm going to combine those. So background, the Humanist Manifesto was published in 1926 out of the University of Chicago. Is a whole bunch of really brilliant academics and theologians who studied this and looked at it. About half the signatures, I'm looking at Stuart, who can start scowling at me if I get it wrong, but about half the signatures were Unitarians at that time. I don't know if there were any Universalists that were on the signatures. The publication of the Humanist Manifesto had a huge impact on Unitarianism in particular. Quick note, Unitarianism and Universalists were 2 separate denominations at that time. They merged in 1961. But in particular had a huge impact on Unitarianism. A lot of churches really embraced some of the constructs that was being presented around humanism that was published. Humanism as a concept has been around since the Greeks in various forms. I'm not going there, I promise. But it has still had a huge impact on us throughout the 20th century, as one person noted. It has changed. It is, as our country has changed, as Unitarian Universalism has changed, humanism is within our faith has become less focused on the secular and more broad in trying to embrace more abstract concepts, spiritual humanism, religious humanism. But it's still a concept that our faith is focused on the human being as opposed to a divine, something that which we might call God. It is focused on the human being as capable of creativity, of hope, of resilience. And for some, that might be actually a harder faith to have than an abstract concept called God. And there's a lot of evidence that says our hope may be misplaced, But I also, as a spiritual humanist, it is all in where we look for that which we need for inspiration. So if we read the daily news for inspiration, we're going to have a problem. So now it seems reduced. It is shifted. I think it's still very much there, but I think it's shifted. It's more ingrained in a fundamental way as opposed to a separate guiding. It's no longer an external force coming in. I think it's a deeply ingrained part of who we are and our identity. National leaders in Unitarian who identify as humanists, I'm going to say that a lot of our national leaders, if you get into theological beliefs about them, I think a lot of them would say that they have some variety of humanism built into their theology in a way that they no longer feel like they have to proclaim. It is embedded into our identity. And I celebrate in that. So off the top of my head, other than our own Stuart, if you have questions about, we have a humanist group. Stuart, could you wave your hand? Thank you, back there. If you have questions about that group, and Amy is also on our leadership group with the humanist group, they meet regularly and have presentations and discussions. So it is very active in our community. Yeah, and I know John, last name just went out of my head, former member, who's at Sunny Hill. John Hooper, thank you. John Hooper is still very active, particularly with discussions up at Chautauqua all summer long, and leads a week of humanism, I think, as they're up at Chautauqua. So yeah, it's really cool. Okay, I am struggling to know the difference between burnout, giving up on someone, not giving it my all, passing up opportunity, not prioritizing something. Also note, I think gender, I need your handwriting. Socialization plays a role here. Being socialized as female equals caring and giving. Oh yeah, that's true, absolutely. How do we navigate determining this? How has it changed over time? So I'm going to try and say that again so we can all understand it. I'm struggling to know the difference between, I think that's burnout, as in giving up on someone, not giving it of my all, and passing up an opportunity for not prioritizing something. You know, what I'm hearing in the question is, and there's two questions here, one about gender socialization, but also what I'm hearing in that about burnout and giving up on somebody. I'm hearing a need for rest. And there are times when we really just, if we're feeling burnt out and too much and we can't keep giving to ourselves or to someone else, we need to rest. And I say that having just had the gift from all of you of 5 months of rest. And it makes a huge difference. And maybe that rest is a walk in the woods. Maybe that rest is playing solitaire. Maybe that rest is watching your favorite television show for an afternoon. Maybe that rest is meditating, being silent, engaging in prayer, reading a novel, listening to gorgeous music. But give the heart and the brain rest, please. And before we give up on someone, make sure we understand what that means and the implications for the relationship in that person, and maybe reframe it. That's not about giving up on someone. Maybe we change how we relate to them, like a dance. Maybe you've been in the wrong dance with them. And the note about gender socialization plays a huge role, such as caring must be women. Absolutely, that has been throughout time. But there are brain studies that show that on a spectrum, we all have different focuses, whether it's about aggression or care. It's in our brains. And then we tend to focus it around gender, which is a misnomer. I don't know. I hope that has it changed over time? Yes, and continues to change, and they will be pushed back from society because it, yeah. Okay. One from email. Following the master and his emissary, Left brain, right brain issues. Can we put in the context of focused attention and left brain and more holistic, integrated right brain for Unitarianism? Following the master and his emissary, left brain and right brain issues. Can we put in the context of focused attention, left brain and more holistic, integrated right brain for Unitarianism? I think that's been happening for the entire 20th century and into the 21st century, frankly. That we're becoming more holistic and recognizing the more research we do around brain functioning, the more research we do around human behavior and sociology and psychology, we are learning so much more about being holistic. And I will even kind of challenge, I think left brain, right brain issues is also a misnomer. And we're recognizing our brains are mixed in so many different ways. One of the ways that we've recognized, for example, when we think we're making a decision to do something, a reaction, our brain has already had a reaction before we think about it. We react on a subconscious level before we're consciously aware of it. Does that make sense? And so sometimes we make a decision and we can't, well, I don't know why I'm making that decision. And it's because your brain already made that decision. You're just now articulating it. And it may happen really fast, quick, but we need to recognize that subconscious, that intuition, that instinct. It's on the ball because that's how we survive. That's that gut level of instinct that keeps evolution going. I will say that some of the things that I've loved about our faith as we become more holistic is our commitment to rituals, which embodies. And what they're seeing in brain science now is that when we embody through ritual, through singing, through dancing, our brain waves, our brain chemistry changes. So September 13th, our water gathering, that ritual binds us together, not just in the act of bringing the water itself, but in our bodies engaging in that. That's why humanity needs church. It brings us together in ritual, in statements, in song, in music, and sitting next to each other in the pew. Your bodies right now are reacting to that and saying, thank you. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. So, more holistic. Yes, please. Yep. Most of the attendees today are seniors. Are you guys seniors? I didn't notice. How can this church be more relevant to attract younger generations? That is the perpetual question. You know how long we've been asking that question? For generations. It's not just us. All faiths have been asking, how do we attract? So we do have a young adult group. One of the challenges of young adults is they like to sleep in on Sunday morning. I did. So it is definitely a challenge. But they do get together on game night on Mondays, and they share a chat group as well. So they are part of our community. They just sleep in on Sunday mornings, which I totally understand. But I have been reading this summer, I've been reading The Anxious Generation, Jonathan Haidt, H-A-I-D-T. Brilliant book, came out 2 years ago, and it has provided me so much insight into the primary cause of anxiety within our younger generations. And it's not a surprise, it is the smartphone. And Jonathan Haidt provides really rock-solid evidence in his team about why that phone device is wrecking our children's mental health. So we're starting to see that generation come into college and young adulthood, those who received the phone back in 2010. I don't know. So one of the ways we need to help recognize our young adults as they're coming in is reclaiming their mind and their heart and their addictions. But we're all subject to it as well. But that generation in particular, because they're handed phones when they're in middle school and high school, and that needs to be done with a whole lot more care. Really a good book, Anxious Generation, Jonathan Haidt. How do we attract them? We welcome them in the front door. We reach out to them. I hate saying this, but yes, through social media. Yeah. But also word of mouth. Hello, please come. The best way to invite somebody is to invite them. Yeah. Okay, what was the most interesting or thought-provoking book you read during your time off? Already answered. Anxious Generation, Jonathan Haidt. Or did you read any good novels? Ooh, yes! I love historical narrative, and I've been, Eric, God, his last name has gone out of my head. Larson. Oh, thank you, Deb. Eric Larson, journalist turned historical narrative. So I read his book about Germany in 1933 with the last, one of the last U.S. ambassadors in Germany. Brilliant. The sinking of the Lusitania. Brilliant. All of these are kind of relevant to today, mind you. And right now, also relevant, his book about the months leading up to the start of the Civil War. I love that stuff. What is your vision of this church 5 years from now? First, recognizing this church does not exist in isolation. This church is a part of a larger ecosystem in this city and in this country. So I can't answer that question without looking at the situation in our country right now. We have a fascist government. That's just it. We have a fascist government in our Washington, D.C. executive branch, in a congressional context that is null and void. This church, I'm not sure what condition it would be in if 5 years from now that hasn't changed and we haven't reclaimed our democracy. We are part of an amazing country, and this church is absolutely dependent upon that country continuing on and changing where we are politically, demographically, sociologically. I want this church to continue to be a commitment, each one of us, to creating bridges and connections with our neighbors and our friends, to reclaiming the solidarity that we truly have with one another, and not being an existence of hatred and anger. That's not who we are as a people. So 5 years from now, I want us to, our country is back to some health, but it has gone further. It has gone further to reclaiming all those who feel broken and have been left behind, all those who are feeling despair. Our health insurance is for everyone. Let's start there. Our economy is healthy. I could go on and on. You know where I stand. But this church will continue to be in existence, committed to ensuring that we have a healthy democracy and that religious freedom is never threatened again as it is today. So, seems like an easy question. Oh, it's 11:30. Okay, well, this one is the same one. Where do you see this church in 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years? Same place. It's 11:30. I have to... Is there anything I can answer real quick? Oh, no. Oh, these are hard. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Thank you, first of all. I will answer these in my reflections that come out usually on Monday over the next few weeks, which means you have to sign up to make sure and you have to click open to read. And I actually can see how many people open it. Okay, I'm watching you. But yeah, they'll be answered in my Monday reflection that comes out in the MailChimp. Please sign up if you're not already, and over the next few weeks. And thank you for these. Time flies, and I deeply appreciate your curiosity and where that leads us. We ready? We're ready. I invite you to stand as you're able for, and really dig into this hymn, 1017, We're Building a New Way. I invite you to remain standing as you're able as we extinguish our chalice. The words are on the screen and in our hearts. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go forth into this world, my beloved, feeling just a little more connected, a little more moments of hope and love and inspiration. I invite you to look for those moments of joy. Look for those moments of awe that bring you into a different space. That is the fuel that feeds us and gives us the sustenance we need to go forward into the day. Go forward with curiosity. Let it lead you where it will. Return, though, again, with your love intact. Blessed be, and amen.